time with IPJ, my man, John Bucket Simon, the unicorn, the blonde bombshell, our betting expert. Hey, Bucks, how you doing, buddy?
Ian, I'm doing as good as I can be on this Wednesday, I think. Yeah, Wednesday. Doing pretty good today. Not my best betting week, but I'm feeling really good. Spirits are high. The mental health is feeling fantastic today, Ian. I think we're going to have a good show here.
Well, let me just inform everybody, because I know a lot of people are probably wondering right now, what the fuck is going on with IPJ's background? Well, there's a huge machine operating right outside my home studio, and it's annoying as fuck. It's loud, and obviously I didn't want that to come across on the microphone, so I decided to bring the show into the living room. So if you see a hot cocoa walking around in the background, let me know. But of course, the dog's around here, so there's be a lot of things, you know. And of course, as you can see, I got a beautiful house. I'm a lucky motherfucker. What else can I say? Buckets, let's talk about your weekend real quickly, because I know you took a little bit of a break, and I want you to just reiterate the importance of taking a break from social media and just checking out for a minute. I hear you had quite a good weekend, though.
Yeah, a little bit of good, a little bit of bad here. We'll get to the recap here in a second, but I do want to tell everybody we will always prioritize. Ian and I have said this 100 times on the show, and we'll say it 100 more. Take care of your mental health. If you are in a slump, if you are feeling bad, if you are not enjoying what you're doing in the betting space, take a step back, take a breather, take your dog on a walk, and just make sure that mentally you're in the right place. Because what we never want to do, Ian, is start chasing after we miss a bet. We don't want to feel like we have to get that money back right away and just spiral. We can't do that.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm very proud of you. And of course, I hope the loyal listeners out there are listening. If there's ever a time that you don't feel great about yourself when you're in the betting space, be very careful. Take that step back. Just think about things. Think about your family. Think about your loved ones. Think about your health. Think about your mental health. It's very important to make those steps. And I'm very proud of you, Buckets, as always, for being someone who steps to the forefront. And you also put it out there on social media as well. I'm taking a break. I need a break. I think it's a great thing to do. We're both on top of our mental health, and we will never, ever stop talking about the importance of taking care of your mental health. Hey, Buckets, real quickly, I just want to give a shout out to someone who's very close to me, very special to me. That's my uncle, Gordon. He is back in the UK right now. He's going through some shit, and I won't talk much about it, but I know he's going through it right now. So from myself and from Buckets and from all of us at Stoppage Time and all the loyal listeners, Uncle Gord, we're behind you. We're sending love to you, and we wish you well. And of course, we're sending so much love. And the football community is very small. And of course, when you're a family that comes from footballers, and my father played, my grandfather played, my uncle played, they all live and breathe football. My uncle's a huge Manchester United fan, and he was one of the reasons why I loved the beautiful game in the first place as well. So sending a lot of love and support out there to you, Uncle Gord. Anyway, let's get on to the weekend review, Buckets. I know it was a difficult start for you this weekend, and of course, it's never easy when you have those difficult starts. Let's rapid fire through what happened this weekend for you betting wise.
And you know, like when you're on a roller coaster and it's that slow buildup and you're just waiting for something good and something exciting to happen. Well, for the first 4 days of this week, we never got to that fun part. It was just a horrible buildup of loss after loss. And it started with an under. Ian, next time I bet an under, I want you to drive to Columbus and just smack me in the back of the head. We're not doing unders ever again, because I took Olympic Lyon under 4.5 goals and then watched them win. Was it 7-0? 8-0? Something ugly. But we're just going to speed through this here. Next bet, Almeria to score in the second half. They had so many chances, Ian, but again, no luck in La Liga, 0-2, followed by Leipzig draw no bet, and they got decimated by a Girassi-less Stuttgart side. They look terrible. Leipzig is spiraling, and it's something that we need to remember moving forward. But surely I could bounce back in this fine Bundesliga. No, I could not. Braunschweig versus Magdeburg, both teams to score and the over. It was the 1 second Bundesliga game that did not hit both teams to score and over on that day. But finally, on day 5, we went down on the roller coaster and had a good time. I was on Salernitana, both teams to score as they took on Roma. And Ian, Salernitana, I thought, looked like the better side for the majority of that game. Roma got the win. That's fine. But we hit our both teams to score and followed up with another banger of a stoppage time hit here with Leicester City versus Swansea, both teams to score. Leicester City up 3-0 in the 95th minute, and Swansea scores a garbage time goal. I'll take it though. 2-4 for the week. Obviously not my best week here, but I'm excited to bounce back here on episode 5.
Yeah, but it was a good recovery, and it's also a fantastic start for you this week, not only obviously on our show in the latest episode, but also on the social media, because you have been incredibly active. Talk us a little quickly about Freya Walks and let everybody know where they can catch it.
Absolutely. We've started a new segment called the Morning Walk with Buckets and Freya. Freya is a high energy dog, and if she does not walk an hour every single morning, it is absolute hell for me during the workday. So, what I've started to do is take her on a walk, and we spend 60 seconds just discussing a topic. It could be a player, a team, an event, a derby. It doesn't matter, just to inform our loyal listeners as much as we can here. And if I'm not mistaken, the first Freya walk featured Victor Gilqueras, who is a striker for Sporting Lisbon, put up 2 goals, put up a ton of shots. We're just kind of giving people more information to make your own wagers, Ian, and people are loving it so far.
They love the information. That's what we are. Listen, at the end of the day, I don't care what anyone says. We give out betting picks, yes, but we're an information show. But most importantly, we're a fucking entertainment show. If we can do anything in our lives, it's just take your mind away from whatever bullshit you're going through, good or bad, and just take you into a different stratosphere and enjoyment for 20, 30, 40. And if you're here and lucky enough to stay for the full 50, 60 minutes of it, if we've done that, we have done something right. And that's what we're here to do. Buckets, I'm still actually doing pretty well on my best bets. And once again, the best bet hit. Do you want to know what it was and how it went down?
Choo choo. Let me hear it, Ian.
Oh, yes. The Dusan Vlahovic Express train rolled on this weekend. I moved to 3-1 for the IPJ best bets, obviously, through the first 4 episodes. I'm very lucky to have done so. I was on Dusan Vlahovic, anytime goal score between Juventus and Empoli. The game finished 1-1. We got an early red card in that game for Juventus's Milik, which I thought, oh, we're in trouble here. And of course, it's very difficult to go ahead and create opportunities and get goals. And I thought it was going to be struggling. But if anybody can take their opportunities, it's the most informed striker right now, maybe across the whole of Europe, Dusan Vlahovic. And I've got to say this correctly because we have had one of our loyal listeners jump in the comments to say, Ian, it is not Dusan, it is Dusan Vlahovic. Thank you so much. And anytime you hear a pronunciation misspelled or missaid, please let us know, everybody out there. The 23-year-old, 12 goals, 2 assists this season from 20 games, his last 6 games in Serie A, 7 goals now, 2 assists. The last 3, he's got 5 goals. And of course, we did see that equalizer in the second half coming from Empoli. But Dusan Vlahovic, Dusan, I've got to keep saying it correctly now, Dusan Vlahovic has scored 6 league goals in 2024 alone. In Juventus history, only Cristiano Ronaldo buckets has netted more.
Wow.
That was 7 in 2020 in the month of January. That's pretty epic, and I'm very lucky. I'm very blessed. Obviously, I moved to 3-1. Not that I'm counting here, but at the same time, it felt pretty good to get that one, especially with a man down.
Absolutely. And this is why we say the information is so important. I saw multiple people this weekend, Ian, tagging you saying not only did I take him anytime goal scorer, but I took him first goal scorer that was plus 380, plus 400. That is also his 3rd game in a row in which he has not only scored, but been the first goal scorer. So take that information and remember that moving forward. Also, if you hear Ian mispronouncing a name, correct him. Do not do that with me. You will have way too much time correcting me. I pronounce absolutely nothing right, and I will not apologize for it.
I'm a perfectionist though, and I definitely like my languages. And I also have a
Magdeburg.
lot of respect for players where I want to be able to say their names correctly and sometimes in their native tongue as well. So that's pretty important to me. Bucket's already pointed out the social media aspect side of things, and we've been pretty lucky on the social media aspect side of things, and we'll continue to do that. So Dusan Vlahovic certainly was one that a lot of people tailed. So congratulations for everybody out there. Buckets, we got a ton of comments to go through. You ready?
Let's do it.
Let's hear from the loyal listeners. It is that time. The loyal listeners have spoken. They want to be heard. You will be heard. This is your fucking show. Let's go to C. Giroux. IPJ laying down the fucking smackdown. I love it. The positivity on this show is unmatched. Big reason why I've started to open my eyes to the game of soccer. Thanks so much for what you both do and continue to do. You guys have helped me learn so much in such a short time. Let's fucking have it. Buckets. That's why we do it, for messages like that.
That type of message will always be my favorite message. The fact that we can not only introduce people to the betting space, but introduce people to the new game as or the beautiful game as a whole is incredible, man.
Niko Zvitokovic. Fuck yeah, the boys. Thanks for the shout out, Ian. But just call me Nick. Us Eastern Europeans all have funny names. And I'm sorry to correct you. Remember, I was talking about Dushan a moment ago. I'm sorry to correct you, but imagine your Juve star boy's name is Dushan to get the right pronunciation. Keep up the killer work, lads. Love being a part of your journey. while starting my own in the football betting space. Hey, Nick, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for starting doing content or whatever it is you're doing in the betting space. We appreciate you. We are hoping to inspire the next generation. And at some point, we're going to have some loyal listeners a part of our show as well. And thank you for correct pronunciation and doing it in such a kind way as well. Let's go to Alvaro Dumanciela. Hat trick? Question mark. What the holy crap? I'm sorry, sir, but IPJ right now, you are the king of the crazy football bets. Long live King IPJ. Hashtag have it. Buckets, hat trick. That rung familiar this weekend. Would you like to remind the loyal listeners of who I'm talking about?
If I'm not mistaken, it was a certain striker for Borussia Dortmund, Nicholas Fulkrug, Ian, who, if I am remembering correctly, you mentioned you think this was going to be his pop-off game in which he gets 3 goals, and I mentioned that he's the penalty kick taker. What was it, 2 penalty kicks plus a 3rd goal in that one?
Yes, 2 penalty kicks plus a
Oh,
3rd goal. We hit Bokrug at plus 100 on that. I think it was plus 100. He was plus 500, I think it was, for a double in that game, and plus 2,500, I think it was. I can't even remember what the odds were. They were that crazy, but it was wild, and we put it all over our social media. But obviously, that's just information we provided, and we were just saying, this is what we're doing, and here's the information. Take it what you will. Somebody out there cashed a full hat trick ticket from our loyal listener group. Congratulations to that listener as well. Let's go to C. Lowe's. Thanks, guys, for another good show. I was super sad when you guys took a break from the show, but glad you guys are back. Ian, good call on the full Krug ladder. Unfortunately, funds are low right now with not much betting, but I fucking love it. LOL. C. Lowe's, listen, you're not the only one in this world too, maybe struggling with the funds right now. And I guess this is why we're doing our show. We want you to feel a part of what we're doing, even if you're not placing a wager. We want you to be invested in the games that we're watching, that we're talking about. And it's okay. Everybody struggles from time to time. And when you're ready to jump back on the ladder and place a few wagers, do so. Bet responsibly. Be cautious. Think about your future. We want everybody to bet responsibly. It's the only thing we ask. But Buckets, these types of messages are very familiar in the betting space with people who are low on funds, and we don't want people to put themselves in danger because of that.
no, the number one piece of betting advice I could give everyone is only bet with money that you are willing to lose. You should never be betting with money to where it's, if this bet misses, I can't afford X, whether that's rent, food, utilities. You never want to be in that position. It's okay to take breaks from betting, but just know that whenever you do come back, we'll be here for you still.
And listen, we're going to be here for you even if you don't have funds and you can't place a wager. We are an entertainment show. We're here to entertain you. You're a part of our journey, whether you're placing wagers or not. And there's a lot of people out there who are loyal listeners who don't place wagers. Oh, wait a minute. A hot cocoa just appeared. A hot cocoa just appeared. She's a little bit scared about coming on the camera. The loyal listeners are asking Hot Cocoa, at some point, will you make an appearance today? She said yes. She's going to make an appearance later on. Put some clothes on though, will you? Please, Jesus. All right, let's go to John. John Kerr, 317. Stoppage time is one of my favorite hours of the week. I say that even after watching Stuttgart run roughshod over Leipzig, but I'm tailing your other bets. Somebody read the script, and many people out there also read the script, Buckets. This is another warning. Even if we give you advice as to where we're going, you don't have to tail us.
Oh, absolutely, you do not. I saw people in the comments saying, Buckets, I understand your reasoning for Leipzig, but I think you're missing some critical stuff here with Stuttgart. And they were obviously right there. I want you guys to challenge my bets. I want you to say, hey, are you missing pieces here? What's going on? This is a conversation with each other. It's never me telling you guys what you have to do.
Yeah, and also one of us are going to win if you go opposite, so it doesn't really matter. It's either us or you. It doesn't really matter. Let's go to Dominic D. He said, "Great to see you guys back, but we need a live war cry, don't we? Just Dom, we need a live war cry soon, baby. Soon, baby. We're working on it. We've got Zeus Far Fan Films 835. Great show. Let's get on that money bag. We've got GCast 3327. Love the show, guys. Remember, if you have haters, you're doing something right. Hashtag Let's Have It. Buckets. He's fucking not wrong there. We've got haters, and we certainly do have a few, but it's okay. There's not many out there. It's just a few out there who we fucking don't like either. Let's go to CFEG12. I can't stand people who blindly tail free bets and then blame the source of those bets. First off, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. For everybody, some weeks are better than others. Also, take some responsibility for your actions. At the end of the day, you hit place on the bets and were not forced to do so. The great information that IPJ and Buckets provide is a tool to educate and give and give a glimpse into what their thoughts are for upcoming games and compare to your own research and thoughts. Love the show, and that is great value on Vlahovic. That is the perfect message right there, Buckets.
That is such a perfect message. It sounds like I made a burner account and typed that up myself. That is exactly how we wish every single person pursued their betting experiences with us. I know that's not possible, but that's the mentality you want to be in always if you can.
Yeah, listen, Buckets might block you. Buckets might switch off from social media. I will fucking hunt you down. So be careful who you're talking to. Let's go to BS Fishing 5902. If anyone is ever needing a little boost of energy, throw this bad boy into 1.52x speed, and Ian and Buckets will light a fire under you with their energy. Love the show, boys. Almost done with the comments. Let's go back to Doc Yunga 17. An hour is absolutely nothing. Keep bringing the energy. Let's sweep this shit. Love watching Buckets' face getting red talking about his Tinder activities. How red would it get talking about Hot Coco's different kind of workout? Hashtag have it. Less of the Hot Cocoa talk right now. She'll be making an appearance later on in the show. But speaking of Tinder,
I thought we were going to go one show without my dating life. No, I've actually got some big announcements of the dating life. Two things, Ian. Number one is I have decided to take my talents off of Tinder and I'm joining Team Hinge, a new dating app that I'm experimenting with. Don't know if you've heard of it because, Ian, Tinder's been doing some shady shit lately. I'm not trying to call them out, but I'm going to call them out. Do you know how much? So you on dating apps, I know that you haven't dated in forever, but you can pay to be like a premium user on these dating apps where you get like special whatevers. Tinder added a service, Ian, in which you pay $1,000 a week to be like an emerald, platinum, gold, whatever member, $4,000 a month to be that member on Tinder. And do you know what it lets you do?
What?
So on dating apps, if let's say I see, a beauty, a honey here, and I swipe right, I pop up on her phone and she goes, ew, no, swipes left. So she says no to me. This new Tinder thing lets me still message her if she says no to me. I can find people that specifically said no because they think I'm ugly, annoying, whatever it is. And I can then message them and be like, hey, sorry, can't get rid of me. And I think that's creepy as hell. So taking a slight Tinder break here. It's not for me. I'll get back eventually, maybe, but that just didn't sit right with me, you know?
That's harassment, isn't it?
I think so.
Someone who said no? Shit. Yeah, I wouldn't even know. I don't know the dating space very well at all. I've only ever been single about 6 weeks in my whole adult life. So no, I don't know much about it. But thanks for the update, Buckets. Let's go to Adam. He said, let's go. We're back, baby, this weekend, hitting all of our Bundesliga bets. Love the energy, guys. Keep the videos coming. We go to Brian. If you guys find the love button, can you let me know? My wife keeps telling me to find it. It's definitely not on Tinder. It's definitely not on Tinder. Don't go there. Ryan jumping in saying, love the Vlahovic call. Got a little anytime goal scorer parlay with him and Fulkrug going at plus 331. Hashtag have it. Well done, Ryan. Congratulations to you. That's how to do it right there. We take the information, provide it to everybody out there. You grab whatever information you want, and you create your own bet. Ryan just got Vlahovic anytime goal scorer alongside Fulkrug at plus 331. Fucking excellent stuff. We've got Joy jumping in and saying, I might watch one match, I can't even pronounce that word, a little here and there all week, but I never miss stoppage time. You guys are so inviting, engaging, and entertaining. Never change. Hashtag have it. Thank you so much, Joy. We go to Jack. Wish this show was longer than an hour. Love taking ideas from you and making parlays. We go to Marvel, sending positive vibes. Buckets, find the right BTTES something and get back to the foundation of your success. BTTES. Both teams to scores.
Oh, to scores. I think the two bets we hit last week were both BTTS. So maybe he's right.
Spell Dog jumping in and saying, thanks for discussing the racism talk in Serie A. You guys are the best. Keep up the great work. Hashtag HAVEIT. We will never, ever stop discussing the most uncomfortable conversations need to be had. We will have them. We go to Reed Robinson. Love y'all. We can make it big time. Yeah, we fucking can, Reed. We go to Soccer Ricky. Thanks for all the work you do. Love the positive energy, guys. We jump to Fresco. You guys are you guys are great. Keep the positive vibe. And remember to all the listeners, if you follow these boys, you will make profit. So let's have it. Great show. Have a great weekend. Let's cash these tickets from jpan_5. And then big time Tigers fan. Ian, your candor about the negatives is refreshing. Please never change. And Buckets, you kick ass, but are too humble to say it. So I will. Buckets, you Kick ass. A little word for our loyal listeners and all the wonderful comments that come out there. It warms my heart. Sorry I couldn't get through all of them. We don't have that long a time. The shows will get bigger. We will have more time and we will have more days once we have a bit of funding behind us. But we're enjoying the process, me and Buckets, right now. We're creating something pretty special. We don't have any pressure to do it in a different way than the way we want to do it. So what you see and what you hear is how we want to do it. If you have any help and you want us to maybe make it better in a certain way, let us know. The comments are a way to do so. It's been awesome to hear the feedback since we've been back, Buckets. Man,
Dude, it just feels so good to be back. We've now done 4 episodes together. And again, these are our most 4 viewed episodes ever out of the 120 plus we've done now. So people clearly missed us. They're glad to have us back. And even when we're not hitting bets, the support we see is just unreal. So people are starting to figure out, as you've said, we're here for entertainment, baby. The bets, I want them all to hit every single time. But if they don't, we'll be back every single week. This is what we do.
do you think we get 5,000 on YouTube views on one of our shows soon?
I think this show will be the one to break the 5K barrier. I'm feeling really good about that.
Did you say something about a giveaway if we didn't get to 5,000?
I think I did, right? That sounds like something I would say.
Let's do a $20 giveaway, bet giveaway. More on that later on in the show. But if we don't get to 5,000, I'm only joking, people. I'm fucking joking. If we get to 5,000, fuck if we don't get to 5,000. If we get to 5,000, we're going to do a giveaway with a bet, a big bet. We're going to place that wager. And if it wins, we're going to give it away to one of our loyal listeners. So please jump in the comments with your best bets for the games coming up this weekend. Listen, I've been called into CBS Sports Network today. Obviously, the Galazzo Network is where I do my craft when I'm not working on Stoppage Time with my co-host, the Blonde Bombshell, the Unicorn, the betting expert, John Bucketimer. I'm at CBS and I've been called into work today. Something happened and I have to go into work, and I'm working on Scoreline later on, and you can watch me obviously all next week on Scoreline as well. It's a great show, love it. Highlights, and I go through analysis. I throw some betting tips in there. I also touch about some of the facts from these games. It's an awesome show. I love working on it. Great energy. But I'm gonna have to make this show a little bit shorter today, Buckets. Well, at least try to. It's probably going from 60 minutes to 59 minutes, but at the same time, we're gonna have to rush through this show. If that's okay with you, Buckets, I'd like to just miss the Bundesliga picks this week. We'll put them out on our social media platforms. It gives us a chance to promote there. Is that okay with you?
That's okay with you. We got to do what we got to do. I know you're a busy man, so we'll make it work.
But you know what that means, though, right? That means that there's more time for Buckets' bets this weekend. And Buckets, I got a banger for you. You ready?
Let's do it.
It would not be an episode of our show Stoppage Time if we didn't get some best bets from our betting expert. That is right, John Bucketimer. Welcome back to Buckets Bets and Hit the Big Time. Time for a challenge, Buckets. I want 6 bets from you. It is not the usual bets I'm asking for this time. I'm asking for 5 plus 1, 6 bets. Oh yes, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday if you can find one. There is a bit of a catch though, Buckets. I would like 1 bet from each of the following leagues if possible. I'm looking at the Premier League, Serie A, La Liga, Ligue 1, Bundesliga, and 1 bet from a cup competition. There could be Copa del Rey, there could be DFB Pokal, there could be the Asian Cup. It could be wherever you fucking want to go, but I want a cup competition, and potentially it could be next Tuesday because I think that is all the games that are going on next Tuesday. But if you can't make it happen, you'll just have to make up your bets. Let's go to your best bet, your first best bet, and it's going to have to be from the day called Thursday. And in German, that's called Donnerstag.
Donnerstag. I definitely said that wrong, but let's go to Donnerstag, everybody. Ian, I think I can come close to getting all the top leagues, but I might have to double dip just a little bit here in Serie A. But on Thursday, we're starting with the English Premier League and a game between the West Ham Mighty Hammers taking on a Bournemouth side who looked really, really good for like a month and are kind of falling off a little bit here. My favorite bet for this Dornstad matchup is going to be West Ham on the draw no bet at minus 130 here. West Ham at home West Ham are a really good side, and they're a really good side defensively. This is a team that will slow things down, will chip away at you, and will break you down physically and mentally throughout the match. West Ham also has 2 big players back finally that they have been desperately missing here in recent form. They welcome back Kudos, who was gone at AFCON, and they also welcome back, if I'm not mistaken, is it Bowen's back? I think Bowen's back this week. 2 big players from West Ham. I just don't think that Bournemouth has it in them right now to beat this West Ham side. They probably have it in them to score. I will see that. But I'm looking at a 2-1, 3-1 victory for the Hammers. I just think West Ham at home coming off good form and Bournemouth coming off bad form. It's just a tricky matchup for them here, Ian.
Yeah, you got Bowen back, you got Ward-Prowse back, you've got Souček in the lineup. Kudus will be back as well. So you've got a really attack-minded West Ham team. And let's not forget, West Ham are still trying to push into that top five. They're chasing Tottenham Hotspur. They're sixth in the table right now on 35 points and 5 points behind Spurs. So you got to get those victories. But Bournemouth are a difficult team. So I like your play here, Buckets, because there's a bit of a safety there behind this play. So I'm okay with that one. And you know what? I have a soft spot for West Ham United. I actually went to West Ham United as a kid. And I went on a trial there just to see if I liked it as a kid to maybe sign a professional contract there. And I absolutely loved it. Great people, great club, great supporters. It was the old stadium, Upton Park, that they played at. And they were brilliant to me. And they had an amazing team, man. Do you know Rio Ferdinand?
Yeah.
So Rio Ferdinand was one of the world's best defenders, and obviously went on to play for my club, Manchester United. But when I was at the youth team in West Ham, Rio Ferdinand was a striker in that time, which tells you how crazy football is, you know? So that was a great story, and I wanted to share it with you. But at the same time, I love Buckets' bet. Let's go to Friday.
How old would he have been then when he was a striker?
Oh, teenagers. Yeah, 16,
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
16, 15, 16.
Well, let's go ahead and go to this Friday best bet here, Ian. I'm back in a team that I said I was done backing, but I'm looking at Dortmund right now, and I have no problem saying this Dortmund club is back. They're traveling to take on Heidenheim, and Heidenheim is a newly promoted side. They're tricky and they're playing well, which is why I think we're getting a soft line here. Dortmund on the money line is -145. Heidenheim coming off of back-to-back 1-1 draws. This is a team that likes to go up early, park the bus as long as they can, usually end up conceding and play for that 1 point. They're not going to finish top four. They're not going to finish bottom four. Heidenheim is happy with the season they're having, but they now have to stop a rampaging Dortmund side that has come out of this break just swinging. They beat Darmstadt 3-0, Cologne 4-0, Bochum 3-1. Not the best teams by any means, but especially with Leipzig kind of falling apart right now, the more points Dortmund can get right now, the better they have of keeping their Champions League dreams alive and cashing Ian's future bet. I'm going with Dortmund money line plus over 1.5 goals in this game to bring that from -145 to -105 right now. I just don't think Dortmund have, or I don't think Heidenheim have enough firepower to stop this Dortmund side. I'm looking again at a 3-1, 4-1 victory for Dortmund.
I looked at this bet and it was almost my best play for the week as well, Buckets. I was a little tentative and scared because of Heidenheim's form at home, and they're an underdog in this game, and they don't give a fuck who they play. They play to win games, which I absolutely love that mentality. They have only lost 2 games from the nine that they've played at home, which is why I pulled away from this one. But I'm okay with you going in on it. And I think I'm going to tail this one as well, because I do believe that Dortmund right now, as you mentioned, they've scored 10 goals in the 3 games in 2024. They've only conceded 1. Jadon Sancho's back. They are okay in their last game. They didn't play great, but they are back scoring goals. And when you score goals, it's very difficult to stop them from scoring goals and the confidence that they have right now. It's only a matter of time before Jadon Sancho finds full form and fitness once again. They are going to be difficult to stop. And we do have obviously a lot of people who are working behind the scenes. And as you can see right now on this show, we're working on some really cool graphics for our show. And the people behind the scenes, we've got a new one we added there. His name is producer Jeff, and he is also a very big Borussia Dortmund fan. I went to watch Dortmund play with him, and we went and took a massive Bundesliga trip back in the day. I think it was 2019. Fuck, we had a great trip. We went to watch Dortmund play, and for us, it was an epic moment. So I'll share some pictures, and maybe Jeff can put them up for you on screen here so you can enjoy. But we've got some people behind the scenes who live and breathe football, and we'll share with you who they are and what they do and which clubs they support as well. So shout out to producer Jeff for all the great things that he is doing, Buckets.
Yeah, Jeff has absolutely been incredible. If you watched this morning's episode of The Morning Walk, you saw a fancy graphic that is way past my pay grade. So thank you, Jeff, for taking care of not only this show, but helping us on social media as well. Tremendous guy.
Let's go to Saturday.
Ian, do you know what team, a little trivia question for you, what team in Europe have I cashed the most tickets on this season?
Girona, it's got to be.
It's got to be Girona. I went and double checked. I have cashed 19 tickets on Girona's 22 games this season. This is a team that just beyond every other club, I see them playing and I do not care who it's against. I don't care what time it is. I don't care if it's a cup game, domestic game, if it's a friendly against Northside High School. It just doesn't matter. This Girona side is top of La Liga. They're ahead of Real Madrid. They're ahead of Barcelona. They're ahead of Atleti. They're just so much fun to watch because they play with a sense of freedom, because they know that everyone thinks they shouldn't be there, and they're just proving everyone wrong week in and week out. They're playing Athletic Club this weekend, another good club, another top 5 club, another club that scores a ton of goals. Girona has 52 goals scored in 22 games. Athletic Club 38 in 22. Two of the best offenses in Spain, and I am getting both teams to score at minus 120. That makes absolutely no sense for me. I know that both teams are coming off of games where BTTS did not hit, but that's just more motivation for these teams to bounce back immediately. Girona is too good offensively to stop right now. Athletic Club, too good offensively to stop right now. I was expecting this to be closer to minus 175, and I was going to pair it with over 2.5. But the fact that I get both teams to score by itself at minus 120 seems a little bit ridiculous to me, Ian.
It's fucking insane. It's absolutely
No
insane.
sense.
And these are two of the most entertaining teams in Spanish football right now. I'm not going to talk much about it because more on that game a little bit later on from me and my best bet buckets. Let's go to what you have for Sunday.
Sunday is another game, Ian, that's pissing me off a little bit here. I'm looking to Italy's Serie A, and I'm looking at Torino taking on Salernitana. Salernitana is this team that, again, I just keep cashing tickets off of. I cannot stop making money off of this club because Salernitana plays the style of football that just makes my heart oh so happy. They are dead last in Serie A, and they play with absolute hellfire in their boots and their kits and their whatever every single time they take the pitch. This is a team that does not care if they are 2, 3, 4, 5 goal underdogs. They don't care if they're down 3-0, 4-0, 5-0. They are pushing for goals every single time because they know the only way they avoid relegation is if they score goals and if they start getting points. BTTS in this match, I will say, is plus 140. So the books, again, are saying that they don't think Salernitana is going to score. But that's not where I'm going, Ian, because Torino is a tough team. They're defensively sound. They're offensively not great. They don't have a lot of high-scoring games. So I wouldn't be shocked if BTTS doesn't hit here. But if you ever give me Salernitana to score just a single goal at plus odds, plus 100, I'm going to take it every single time. They could win this game 1-0. This game could be 1-1. I think it's going to be close. But the fact that it's just plus 100 is too good for a team that has now scored in 11 of their last 12 matches. I know Torino will play defense. I just don't think it matters against Salernitana right now.
Torino at home, John Bucket Timer. Question
Yep.
time for you.
Yep.
10 games played, 5 wins, 4 draws, 1 losses. How many goals have they conceded?
They've conceded 6. Wrong?
That's a danger. No, it's 6. Yeah, it is.
Okay,
And that's a danger for me. That's a threat. They only scored 12. Not great, fucking entertaining team. But Ivan Juric, their coach there, is doing a great job, and I think they're very difficult to beat. So, listen, that's why you're getting a favorable line there for Salernitana to actually get a goal in this game. So I'm okay with that. But at the same time, I'm a little bit disappointed in you, Buckets, and you want to know why? I'm going
Why?
to test you right now. Because on Sunday, there are some of the best games in the world of our fucking sport. We have Lyon against Marseille kicking off at 2:45 Eastern on Sunday. We've got Inter against Juventus kicking off at 2:45 on Sunday.
Yep.
We've got Real Madrid against Atletico Madrid kicking off at 3 on Sunday, and you chose neither game. So before we go anywhere, I did not give Buckets a warm-up that this was coming. I want a scoreline prediction for each of those games, if that's okay with you, Buckets. Let's go with Lyon against Marseille. I don't need anything else other than a scoreline.
3-1 Marseille.
Oh, I like that. Lyon are vulnerable right now.
Oh, yeah.
Inter against Juventus.
I will say I looked at this game for probably 30 minutes because I was trying to find that Vlahovic to score line. I was looking at Lautaro to score. I was looking at both teams to score. But historically, this is a very low scoring head-to-head matchup, Ian. I'm going 1-1 draw. Nothing separates these two right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. The last 3 games, 1-1, 1-0 Inter, 1-1. It's crazy. There's just not much of BTTS action or high goal scoring going on in that game. We saw this game most recently. It was at Atletico's Wanda Metropolitano. It is now at the Bernabeu. Real Madrid against Atletico Madrid. This one is a tough game to predict, man.
It's a very tough game, and it's why I stayed off of it. And also, I think this is like the 6th time these two teams have played each other this year. So it's a team that you were seeing a lot of head-to-head experience, at least. I'm actually going to go with the upset. I'm taking 2-1 Atleti here. I just do not have faith in Real Madrid right now. I know at home they're monsters, Los Blancos, all that good stuff. I don't care. I love Atleti right now.
Wow, I love Atletico as well right now, Buckets. But if they win this game, they would go so closer. I mean, Real Madrid are far away from them. They're 9 points or 10 points away from them. But at the same time, they would get away from Barcelona. So they need to win. Otherwise, they drop into 4th place. Let's go to your best bet for Monday.
Monday, I'm actually, once again, this is the double dip here. I'm sticking in Serie A. I'm going with another Italian matchup because I found a new club in Italy that I think I love betting on. I'm going for Roma once again as they're hosting. And I know I don't pronounce this team right. And for the life of me, I don't remember how to say it. I say Cagliari. I know that's not correct. Ian, can you help me here real quick?
You're not the only one. Cagliari has been one of the teams where people mispronounce because it's so difficult because of that G. Cagliari is how you pronounce it. Cagliari. So pretend like the G is a Y, Cagliari, and you would be saying it correctly. But it's one of the most difficult ones to pronounce.
That's brutal. Roma versus Cagliari. I'm taking again here, Ian. Both teams have scored. The Buckets Classic. This is plus 110 here. And this is not so much doubting Roma's ability to score. Roma has done fantastic. 2 wins back to back under their new management, Daniele De Rossi. However, this team, these are games they are supposed to be winning. And honestly, they're barely winning them. Roma did not look convincing against Hellas Verona when they won 2-1. And I thought that they looked like the worst team when they took on Salernitana last week, in which they won at 2-1 here. Cagliari is not the best offensive club, but for me, it just doesn't matter right now. Roma's probably going to score again 2 or 3 here. Lukaku is always a guy you want to look at for Roma with the form he's in. But Cagliari, playing on the road, got to go for goals here if you want to beat Roma. This is a game where, again, both teams have scored. Being at plus odds, it just doesn't sit right with me here at plus 110, Ian.
Yeah, especially with teams that are fighting for their lives, they need to go for goals. They've got nothing to lose now. You're in the second part of the season. So if you're near the bottom of the table, you've got to try and go for goals. And if you don't win games, you got to try and draw games. And sometimes, especially if you're playing in the capital, you got to score goals. They haven't won a game on the road all season long, Cagliari, and that concerns me. Daniele De Rossi, his first game was against Hellas Verona at home. They conceded in that game as well. So there's every opportunity because I've got a feeling that De Rossi wants to play a little bit more offensive football. So I'm really intrigued to see how they handle it. Cagliari also only 7 goals they have scored from 11 games on the road. But I do think that this is a nice little look because they need to score. Otherwise, they're in desperate trouble. Let's go to the best bet for Tuesday. And it most likely will be a cup game, right?
It is a cup game. I'm going to be on a FA Cup replay. I'm looking at Aston Villa versus Chelsea. And Aston Villa rubbed me the wrong way this week here, and not in a good way, the wrong way, Ian. Aston Villa was a team that I touted a bit. I said Aston Villa has not lost at home yet this season. They're playing Newcastle, a team that doesn't win on the road. Aston Villa should beat them no problem. And Aston Villa looked lost out there. They lost 3-1 to Newcastle midweek here. It was their first home loss of the season. And now they have a chance to have an immediate bounce back at home when they play Chelsea. Chelsea, who is still in the FA Cup, who is still in the AEFL Cup, and who is still in league play. This Chelsea team is tired. They are battered. And honestly, I'm under the understanding, yes, they want to win silverware. Pochettino wants to prove to the club and to the owners that he's the right man to stay here at Chelsea. But right now, Chelsea needs to fix their priorities. They're going to focus on that EFL final they have coming up against Liverpool. They're going to focus on still having good league play. And Aston Villa needs a bounce back here. I'm going Aston Villa on the draw no bet at minus 145. The first leg did end 0-0 when these two teams played. And Aston Villa, even in that match on the road, I thought they looked like the better club here. So I'm expecting an immediate bounce back after that Newcastle at home, while Chelsea takes a chance to kind of rest up some players and prep for further games.
I love you, Buckets, but you know I don't miss too much when you say it, right?
Yep.
This game's on Wednesday.
Is it?
Yeah. On Tuesday, you missed an absolute banger, though, because Leverkusen are playing Stuttgart in the DFB Pokal quarter-final, which is an absolute cracker of a game. So guess what, people? We have an extra bet from John Bucketimer. This time it will be taking place on the Wednesday. By that time, we will be recording the show. So we won't have a clue if Buckets hit his bet or not. Just kidding, Buckets. I appreciate it, and I think it's a great look as well, obviously, with Aston Villa just losing that home record. They were so unstoppable at home. That was a disappointing performance against Newcastle, but really impressive to see Newcastle get that type of a victory. Real quickly, though, on the Tuesday, there are a couple of big games. Real Sociedad play against Mallorca away from home, but there is that Leverkusen against Stuttgart in the quarterfinal. These are two of the biggest and favorite teams left in the German quarterfinal, and it's hurt my heart because St. Pauli just recently lost. You'd be leaning towards Leverkusen there, right?
I would be, and whoever wins that match probably wins the whole thing. So a big game for both of them.
Yeah, now St. Pauli are out. That's why they probably win the whole.
Well, they still have to get through. What is it? Saarbrücken is still in it. The ones that knocked out Bayern and Frankfurt.
Yeah, I know. They're still in there. I think they're like 5th division now, Saarbrücken as well. Eric Winalda's former club. They were in the Bundesliga when Eric Winalda, the legend, played there. Buckets, let's get to my best bet. You ready?
Yep.
Okay, you're going to love the name of this best bet. It's called the BTTFS bet.
Both teams to effing score bet?
fucking right,
Got you.
Buckets. I'm turning my attention to Girona against Real Sociedad. Girona's Bucket pointed out plus 115 on the money line. Real Sociedad plus 240. At least they were. My best bet here is both teams to fucking score in this game. As Buckets pointed out, it is minus 120. I got it at minus 125. I've already placed this wager. It's a classic bet for me. Obviously, with Buckets, I follow him so closely, especially with a team like Girona. They go for it. And unfortunately for them, Real Sociedad is also a very good attack-minded team. So I'm really happy to see Buckets going for this one as well. It's very rarely we talk about our bets. We certainly don't do it before our shows, and it's very rarely we actually cross over here on the same bet. So I do have another little spicy side play because I had a feeling Buckets was going to place this bet. I've got a spicy side play, which I'll tell you in just a minute. Girona, top of the league, 22 games, won 17, lost only one, scored 52, led in 25. At home, they are the league third best team. La Liga's for third best team. Played 11, won 9, drawn 1, only lost that one game, which of course was at home. They scored 30 goals from 11 games at home, but they've also conceded 14, which caught me by surprise. So they have conceded some goals at home. The last 3 games head to head, John Bucketsheimer, 14 goals in the 3 games head to head, and both teams to score has hit in all 3 of those games. Real Sociedad, listen to this for a scoreline back in October 2022. Real Sociedad won this game 5-3, which is the most Girona scoreline I have ever fucking heard. But this season, Girona have been winning those games, so that's why I'm expecting a wild game. And of course, the home side, if you look at the money line, are clear favorites. Now, the side bet I wanted to hand out there, just as a little placer, my best bet is both teams to fucking score. But my side bet here, if everybody out there is wanting to place it, I'm going to place it as well. Artem Dovbyk, 2+
Yes.
shots on target, is currently sitting at plus 150 on the sportsbook. He has 14 goals, 5 assists this season. I want to break down his shots for you real quickly. 14 goals, as already pointed out. He's had 50 shots in La Liga this campaign, 26 of them on target. So 1 every 2 shots he has taken is hitting the target. And in big games, especially when you're playing against teams that are around you, like a Real Sociedad, you got to win those games, get them on target. He also has the 14 goals, which is absolutely insane. Real Sociedad 6 in the Liga, 36 points, scored 32, led in 21. They've won only 9 from 22 games, which is really interesting. They have drawn 9 games, which is really surprising. Away from home, 11 games, won only 4, lost only 3. They've scored 14 and conceded 10. They don't score many, don't concede many away from home, but no Kubo in their lineup. He is competing and just got through to the semi-final Buckets or quarterfinal of the AFC Asian Cup. So congratulations to him. But this is the mighty Girona. So we expect them to concede at some point because they're crazy as fuck. They have to attack. I see a wild game here, Buckets, and one more line I'd like to point out for everybody. Information we're providing: over 3.5 total goals in this game is sitting at plus 240.
I love that. This is the kind of team you ladder, Ian. I need to jump in here real quick. I made a mistake, but I'm going to pretend like I did it on purpose just to confuse people here. I said throughout my entire Girona take, I said Girona versus Athletic Club. They play February 19th. So everything I said was for Real Sociedad. What I'm doing is I'm going to those people that just skip ahead to the bets. It's going to confuse them. Now they have to watch the full show to find out what the bet really was. That's on me, but I'm going to say I did it on purpose here.
Well, don't worry about it because we'll have producer Jeff beep you out every time you say the opponent's name. So it'll be Girona against beep, and every time they go up against beep, and they're going to score against beep, we'll have him do something fun for you right there. Maybe we'll get
Thank
a
you.
duck noise. Something like that. This game is at Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Everybody, please, for the love of God, please fucking bet responsibly. This game is an absolute banger of a game on Saturday. And of course, we're expecting Girona to continue their pressure at the top of the table. There's some great games to look forward to. But against Real Sociedad, it's a phenomenal game. And Sociedad are a good fucking side. So please, everybody, bet responsibly. Buckets, anything else to add?
No, besides I'm a big dumb idiot sometimes and don't know what clubs I'm betting on. Just be responsible. You got to be like I am. You got to be like ENR. You know, betting responsibly is the only way you can have success and the only way you can have fun in this space. And that's our priority, is to make sure that everyone's having a damn good time, Ian, when it's all said and done.
It's all about your preparation, baby. You learn that from years and years of experience,
Yeah.
Buckets. Don't worry about it. And sometimes you forget which fucking day it is as well. I'm just going to throw that out there. We did go on our social media and we put out on Sunday, I think this was, a $10 bet giveaway. I produced on Stoppage Time, free $10 bet giveaway. Joy Pauline and Buckets John Bets are doing a giveaway on next week's episode. Comment on the latest episode. The link was below with your favorite bet for next Saturday, February 3rd. 5 chosen best bets will be placed. And if you win, you get to keep the money. Buckets, you picked out 5 good ones for us. Do you want to read them or you want me to go for it?
I'll have you go for it.
Yeah, why you nervous? All right, let's go to Stephen Lochner. He gets chosen. Best bet for next Saturday is Girona against Real Sociedad. He is also on both teams to score. He had minus 132 buckets. We're obviously getting more lines. Hashtag have it. Congratulations, Steve. We don't need to talk about your bet because we're both on it. We've got Brian K. Congratulations to you. My best bet for Saturday is Dundee versus Hearts, Scottish Prem. Hearts team total over 1.5. I got this for plus 138 on a sportsbook on Monday night. In 7 of their last 8 games across all competitions, Hearts have scored, and then I didn't get the rest of the message because Buckets cut it out. But at the same time, congratulations to you, Brian. We're going to place that bet. The Scottish League has been really entertaining. I think we need to dive into a few more bets there. Congratulations to you. Let's go to B Mills. My best bet is Werder Bremen double chance against Mainz. It's minus 135. Not sure why the number is this good, so probably missing something in that game. I also noticed B Mills in that game that you can actually get really good line on Werder Bremen to win that game because Mainz this season have been really freaking poor.
That's
So your
weird.
bet's getting placed. We've got Youth Magrain, Euphamgrain. I don't even know how to pronounce his name, but his best bet is for February 3rd. Bayern Munich team total over 3.5 goals. Buckets. Greetings
Oh.
from Ensenada, Mexico, the best soccer show. Sorry if I pronounced your name correctly there. I've got Youth M. Grain. Buckets, that's a pretty good bet, though, because your team needs to start scoring fucking goals.
They better start scoring goals. Who are they playing this weekend? I should know that.
I don't even know who they're playing this weekend.
I just Oh, Gladbach. Absolutely. Oh, Gladbach's kind of our bogey team. That's a bet I'd be very nervous about. I feel like Gladbach
correct.
just gives them a tough time.
Yeah, that's an interesting
That's
one
a
as
tough
well,
one.
because Borussia Mönchengladbach are starting to find their form. They're mid-table at the moment in time, but
Yep.
they've whatever. Okay, now we've got another bet, Buckets. Fucking Kyle. Now, a lot of people don't know fucking Kyle, but he's a bit of a legend in our books. Mine Bucket's eyes, we love Kyle because he always comments. He's super positive. He's a loyal listener, and he's a great human being, and we really appreciate his support. He's come up with this classic. Buckets, you ready for this? You might
Let's
want
go,
to put your
Kyle.
seatbelt on for this one. So Kyle jumps in and he goes, I got a little February 3 parlay party. Leverkusen money line plus Villa money line plus Alaves Barcelona over 2.5 at plus 274 buckets. That's from Kyle G. What's your thoughts on that one?
Man, I'm not much for a parlay parte. And for whatever reason, that is the only thing Kyle bets. Every time he tweets at me or pings me, it's always, hey, what do you think of this 8-leg parlay spanning 6 leagues? I actually kind of like it. I'm going to tail it out of respect to Kyle because I think he's going to hit this, but just be careful. Bet responsibly on parlays like this.
Congratulations to all of you who were mentioned there with the $10 free bets. Those bets will be placed today for games that take place on Saturday. If you win your bet, the money will be sent to you, all of it, not just the placed wager. You will get the whole amount, and we will just need you to obviously jump back in the comments and let us know where we need to send that money to. And we obviously know it's you because you've already been in the comments. So all you cheeky bastards out there trying to steal money, this show's not for you. Buckets, the return of the show has been an absolute success. We are 4 episodes in now. This will be episode number 5. The shorts have been really successful as well across multiple platforms, but on YouTube in particular, we're over 20,000 views now, and it's been really spectacular. The watch period of time, the watch time where people actually tune in and how long they tune in for is up massively. So thank you to everybody for not only just jumping in on the show, taking the best bets, you, Eric, but at the same time, everybody out there who watches the full show, we try to make it as entertaining as possible for all of you. The subscribers are also up, so thank you so much for that. We obviously want more numbers. We obviously want to see everything, but this is your show. Please share it with everybody you possibly can so we can continue to do more and better. What we still need from you is to subscribe to YouTube. We need those numbers to grow, so please, if you want, share it with your friends and do whatever you can to obviously get those numbers up for us. The social media aspect on X, we're over 4,000 followers now, over 4,100. Can we get that up to 5,000 soon? That would be great. I think there'll be a nice giveaway if we get to that point. We need people to watch the show and share it as much as possible. That's really where it comes down to. If you enjoy the show, share it. Share it across your platforms. Share it with your wife. Share it with your partners, whoever it is. But for the love of God, most importantly, Buckets, keep on commenting because that's what makes me warm and fuzzy inside. Buckets, it's been amazing, man. I'm really proud of you and the great work that you're doing. Obviously, everybody out there, just a reminder, me and Buckets are doing this for free. We're enjoying every minute of it because we're creating it with a goal and purpose of having a great partner. We don't want a bullshit partner. So if you're a bullshit partner who's trying to throw money at us, please stop doing that. We're not interested. We need people who have real ideas, real creativity, and longevity. We want our loyal listeners to be able to watch this content for free. That will never change. This show will always be for free, and social media will always be for free. We do have our own platforms. Obviously, you can catch me in Buckets both on CBS Sports. Buckets is on the Early Edge. I am also on the Galazzo Network. You can catch me there, and religiously helping that channel grow as best I possibly can. But Buckets, we also saw this week the Joy Boy started a Patreon.
The Joy Boy did indeed start a Patreon, and it is not what you guys think. Frank, be careful. There's no hot cocoa on Patreon. It is a chance for Ian to share more in-depth research that he uses for the Galazzo Network on his own individual platform. So definitely check that out. Even you, Frank. But yeah, definitely worth the read.
Hey, listen, I enjoy writing as much as I enjoy talking. I enjoy talking more, in case you couldn't fucking tell. But at the same time, I do write and I write pretty well. I like stats and information. And when I actually prepare for a show bucket, so of course I do box to box on CBS Sports Galazzo Network. I also do Scoreline, which I love doing. But the information you have and need for shows like that is ridiculous. You need to have so much information. And I'll be honest with you, 75% of what I prepare for doesn't make it on air. I don't get a chance to say it. There's just not enough time or that's not the right moment. So 75% of it just goes to waste. So what I'm starting to do now is I'm going to start taking that information and I'm going to start sharing with people. I will put a few wagers out there and a few good looks for people to have. But at the same time, I'm also doing the same on our social media platforms. I'm using all of the information that I have and I'm trying to give it away as much as possible. Of course, when I write on Patreon, you can have it for free for 7 days. And if you want to have more, you can pay a little fee for it, but it's not much. And really, I'm just doing it for fun. But this show will never change. It will always be free. And it's really great to connect with so many people in the betting space, Buckets. You also introduced me to something called Discord this week. I am slow as fuck when it comes to gadgets, but I still enjoy it and I'm slowly getting it. And it's pretty cool because the community, the betting community, are fucking awesome human beings, man. Can't hear you. It'd be great if we could hear you.
Let's try hearing me this time. They are awesome and they are all crazy human beings just like us, Ian. We did start a stoppage time Discord, and if you go check that out, it's just people wagering constantly throughout the day. It's sharing ideas, sharing information, sharing live wagers, live looks, everything in that stoppage time Discord. So make sure you give that a look. We'll make sure to put that in the description below so it's nice and easy for all of you. But yeah, I mean, we're going to take this to every platform we possibly can.
I will say this. Obviously, when people look at the betting community, people frown upon it sometimes, and it has a bad name and a bad reputation. Betting this, betting that. But what I'm trying to do, and what Buckets has always tried to do ever since I've known him, is try to turn some positivity there, make it positive vibes, have a good community. We're not shoving bets down your throat here. We're giving you information to have fun. Most importantly, we're trying to entertain you. But I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help the betting space have a good reputation because there are so many great people out there that are just looking for something to entertain them, to take their mind away from the stress and strains that they go through in their everyday life. And I feel like we do that with stoppage time. And that's why we have such a loyal fucking following. It's really great. I'm so honored to be here with you, Buckets. I know we're doing pretty cool things now with the show. As everybody can see on this episode, we've got some cool graphics. We've got some cool little things that have been added to the show. We've got some really great people behind the scenes, some secret people. We won't mention their names. They're awesome human beings. We thank them so much for all the great work that they are doing and continue to do. We've got producer Jeff jumping on board with us as well, Buckets, which is great. And we won't stop until we hit the very top. And when we get there, we're going to keep fucking going.
Yep, there's no top for us, Ian. We do not plateau and we do not slow down, baby. It's just the roller coaster is going to work this time, just straight up.
If only Buckets knew what fucking day it was and which team that
Yeah,
Girona were actually playing against, it would help.
Damn it. All
I
right.
appreciate you, brother. Tell me real quickly what's happening with your weekend before we get the fuck out of here.
The weekend, my dad actually just had a 7-hour successful spinal reconstruction surgery. So I will be available on social media. I will be here, but I'm going home to help him get adjusted. He's getting released from the hospital. Going to help him make sure he and my mom are okay. Just kind of be there for the fam. But you bet, Ian, that I'll be on my phone watching these games still.
We appreciate you, brother, and everything you've been through with your family. I love to see you support your family. So important. And the great human being that you are as well. I wouldn't expect anything less. But thank you for being such a great partner for me and for loyal listeners. We appreciate you every single day. And for everybody out there who's been watching this show, thank you so much for the comments, the likes, the shares, the subscribes. That means the world to us. This is your show, Stoppage Time. We won't stop. We're going to continue to produce. And as you can see, we are getting bigger and better. We're producing bigger and better. We're just waiting for the right moment to blow this motherfucker to the moon. But we are enjoying this process so much. So always look out for our content across social media. We're on X, we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram. We are thinking about doing Facebook as well. Me and Buckets have got to discuss that one. I feel like it would be a good idea. And then, of course, you can follow us on YouTube and YouTube Shorts as well. Buckets, you seem to be enjoying doing these walks with Freya. Are you sticking to players? Are you looking for games? Like, what can people expect across the social media platforms?
It's basically whatever just piques my interest in a given day. I think a lot of times it will be focused on specific players, but if we have, a big rivalry matchup, we might touch on the importance of that derby. If we have, a team fighting in a relegation battle like Salernitania, we might talk about why it's so important that they go for goals. It's just whatever kind of tickles my fancy, I think is the phrase they use. That's what I'll be talking about.
I love it. I love watching the fact that you include Freya in all this as well because she's fucking awesome. And it's great to see you having some fun doing this stuff, Buckets. It's great to see everybody out there enjoying it because we can see the love and feel the love from everybody. We want more. The comments mean the most to me. So keep those coming in. I would like to know where everybody is watching from. So if you've got to this point in the show, maybe a lot of people, including Eric Gunnarsson, have switched off. But if you've got to this point in the show, could you just drop in the comments where you're watching from? Like, let me know which country or which city so that me and Buckets can give a shout out to those nations, to those countries, those cities, your people. We appreciate it because what we've noticed that is certainly on the algorithm and also on the analytics of YouTube, you can see majority of where people are, but I want people to tell us where they're from and what their team is. That would be great. I would appreciate that. But Buckets, this has been brilliant. Another great show. It's been awesome to watch you stumble across the days of the week. That makes me really happy indeed to see that because it gives me an opportunity to make fun of you. And also that you went with the same fucking goddamn bet as me. That means it's probably going to hit, right?
It better. You're 3-1 right now. I'm just saying, I'm riding the IPJ hot train right now. That's definitely not what it's called, but I'm excited for that Girona game nonetheless.
You got to get off Tinder quick, man.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
going nowhere fast with this shit. We appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. And just like Girona are going to do this weekend against Real Sociedad, make sure everybody out there absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. It's a bit of a wrap coming up here. I'm only joking. Make sure you absolutely have it.